Hello and welcome back. I am excited to be setting up for December with you today. I really enjoyed using my fountain pen for November and am pleased to be bringing it as my main decorative piece into December. This month I will be using Noodler's Midnight Blue ink and an Osprey fountain pen with their extra flex nib unit, which in this, I think this actual model is called the flexpert. Anyway, so here you see me setting up my cover page, which features, of course, pine cones, evergreen, bay leaves and berries, as well as ivy. So as I was going through these and deciding what to do, these botanicals kept coming to the front for me, and I don't know if this is actually a general correspondence or just the correspondence I learned growing up. But growing up, ivy was considered a plant of eternal life. It was green, just like the evergreens in winter, and was definitely considered that. Sort of culturally, you knew you had made it as a woman, as a full adult, when you had your own ivy growing in your yard that you could pull for flower arrangements. And later in life, I've also come to associate it with witches' homes, which I think may actually be a correspondence. Anyway, so I, throughout, will be working with some ivy. It was a bit harder to work with than I thought, but I am overall relatively pleased with how it turned out. And here you see I'm putting in a quotation. I had originally planned to do a mini calendar, but Annie of the channel Mirth and Reverence has been sharing meditations, and this is a quotation from one of her Samhain meditations. It says, "Here's to a path where the very possibility of mystery comforts us." And that just seems so perfect to me with this season of going into the deepest heart of the darkness before the light, the savoring of mystery now. Notice I've already gone in and inked my general calendar setup just to save us some time. Like last month, I'm doing a large calendar format. As you see, the more again came to inspect. I suppose for many people, December is a very busy month, and it's the same for me, so I'm really looking forward to using this space. At the bottom and the top, I'm decorating with pine cones, and ivy, and evergreen, and bay again. And you can see I'm using a water brush just to smear the ink a little and give it some shading. Looking back now, I almost wish I had used an accent color like I did last month with the Apache Sunset and the Noodler's Black. But also at the same time, I do love the cool tones and look as is. Now I'm coming in with a Twisbi Eco fountain pen. This is with J. Herbin's Cacao de Bresil ink. It's this sort of lovely gray-brown color that works just great with blues. And my main regret here is that I dated the calendars in the bottom left, and I really wish I would have done that in the top. My eyes just keep defaulting there. And here you see I am drawing in some large size circles for the moon on each days. This is a stencil that was part of a gift that someone gave me. I think they got it from Wish. And the two different size circles on this stencil have just been really great for moons. Here I am filling in the full moon and the 2 days around with a Uniball Signo gel pen. It's in size medium and just one of the best metallic pens I've found. Now you're seeing me put in some blue fountain pen ink and smear around to make the moons darker so that the silver will pop. I do regret that I only thought of using a marker later, but still, it's nice and it's in watery. At the bottom, I did intend to do my goals, but when it came time, I had to include this quote, which was, "Help us to be ever faithful gardeners of the Spirit, who know that without darkness nothing comes to birth, and without light nothing flowers." It's by May Sarton, and once again, just perfect for the winter equinox. And you see up there at the top, I did miss the footage somehow of smearing the ink above my letters there. Alright, and now we are on to my tracker. This is almost identical to my tracker from last month, except I did change the placement. So almost all of the same things are being tracked, just shifted. So this month I have exercise first, and then no alcohol, showering, and then the potential symptom tracker for my medication. Once again, the main change there is that I am no longer only tracking low appetite. I just have a tracker for appetite and then can mark a positive for if I have a large appetite and a negative if I have a low appetite. And then on the right side, I have just 3 columns for tarot, 1 for number, 1 for suit, and 1 for note. This month I'm going to be using the Wildwood Tarot and ignoring reversals, so I mixed that column. Then on the left, you saw me use that stencil again to put in the moons. Later I will fill those in. And now I'm moving on to my writing tracker. This NaNoWriMo, I did get out a draft of a novel, but as you might suspect, there's definitely still work to be done. So I'm keeping my same increments, but then just leaving in a key to differentiate between whether it's new words written or things edited. And then once I get in my titles, I add in some decoration. And once again, you'll see I take a water brush and just smear the ink a little. Unlike the Noodler's black, the Midnight Blue is not waterproof, and so does smear and make a really lovely shade of blue, though I guess I won't say that if I ever spill anything on this notebook. For my final monthly tracker, I'm setting up a gift tracker. This is almost identical to what I did last year. I have a column for the gift, a column for whether it's ordered, if it's wrapped, if it's been given, and any note. Last year I did this and also included notations about when I needed it by and how much it cost and when it had arrived. But I think this slightly pared down version will be perfect for this year. And now on to my last spread of this setup. This is my first weekly for December. It's the same weekly format I've been using since October, just with slight variations. So at the top there is a running bar with my days of the week. Novel comes to investigate. I normally include a mini calendar as well, and then I can change how tall the bar at the top is and how it's divided to mark different things I want to track. So in this setup, I have space at the top for events. I have a row for word count. I have a 3 space high row for a Lenormand card reading or a 3-card tarot reading. And then on the bottom, I have a space to write in what my dinners are. Often I'll pencil in what I have planned and then write in after we've decided on dinner what we actually did. this point, I realized that I had a Artist Loft marker that matched the blue, so I could just color in the moons with it, and then I was able to do a stripe and some water under my letters so that it wasn't quite as blurred out. And this is it for my December 2019 setup, the last setup for 2019. Overall, I'm really pleased with how this came out. And as I flip through, you will notice I did miss a little from the top, so I apologize for the cutoff. But thanks so much for coming along with me, and I hope that you're able to find something of interest and inspiring through this. Blessed be.